YouTube, part 2. Yeah, so we're I'm just going to try and cut them up. I might just stitch them all together anyway. So I found the multimeter, so we're going to have a look at the pickups. So we're starting off with Ibanez Roadster, which is the 1980 one.
Basically
according to the serial number.
This is the Genesis model, I think.
Yes.
For the RG guitars. RG meaning Roadster guitar.
Yes, so or Roadster guitar, but I don't reckon there's a. I think that's just a spelling.
Yeah, but it's Strat scale length.
Yes.
Yeah, start with that.
Yes. Like use the socket. So
bridge pickup.
Bridge pickup. Wouldn't it be clever if I moved to 6.68?
So it's quite a hot pickup.
It's a hot, but that's the Super 6s. Well, I know it's Super Tap 6. 6.9.
6.9. And at top.
6.9.
6.9. Can I just see what it is in between? 3.5.
3.5.
And 3.5.
Yeah.
So Stratty make Strat face, but quite a high output Strat.
A high output.
Yeah.
Strat. Yes, and these are the same pickups that are in this one. We think they're called Super Tap, Super 6s. None of these are the tap ones. The tap ones are amazing. If I'd been if you hadn't sold it, I could have borrowed that one from Tony in Blitzkrieg Shop, the 550.
Should be the same-ish.
Yeah. So bridge.
Full up.
6.9. 6.9. Yep.
Yeah.
Oh.
6.8 varying on at 6.9.
6.9 is 7.05. So they've actually put the. I wonder if that was would that be a mistake at that time to make? Because obviously you want the neck pickup to be a bit stronger.
Yeah.
No, you want the other way around. You want the bridge pickup to be stronger.
So
I think they're basically just all exactly the same, and they're just not. There's a slight random element
with the winding.
Yes. Because they're all the same way around. Yeah. You know, there's no reverse coily things.
But they're very similar to the first one, and then when you move on to the last.
Yes, one.
Now
they need to get the patch lead out of that one first, though.
I had them. Let's get it down comfortably. I had this one up against my American Strat. I was just playing them one against the other. My American Strat was actually louder than this one. Yeah. Quite noticeably louder.
And these are the Super 5 pickups.
Full blast bridge.
Bridge. It's not like it. I didn't like this one last time. 7.1.
7.1. So again, a hot pickup.
7.2.
6.98.
6.87.
Yeah, so they're all.
So basically exactly the same. So there's the thing. I mean, we did check that one first a minute ago, and it was these are definitely weaker.
Yeah.
Definitely weaker. They're actually get slightly stronger.
So can we try the Yamaha?
Oh,
because if you look at the
Yamaha,
if you look at the construction of the Yamaha, it's almost identical looking.
Oops.
I mean, everything about it's pretty much the same. The layout of the pickups, the design of the bridge, although it's not completely identical, it's the same.
It's very similar, and it's cast since it's called an Acu cast. That's swinging.
Feels like
surprised there weren't big showers of dust coming out.
These are supremely. If you ever see one of these, grab it. It's not going to be cheap though.
This one's been modded though. So that's 5.2. But if you hit that switch, 8.
Wow, that's a powerful pickup.
Yeah, and then 8 and 7.8.
7.9.
7.8.
7.8. Okay.
Yep.
That's a powerful. That's a hot bridge pickup.
It's a hot bridge pickup, but it's got the coil tap. Brings it down to 5.1.
So hold on, what's it in the empezine position then?
4.1 just now.
Do that.
2.6.
Wow, it's quite a boost you can get just by doing that then.
it's a big thing, yeah. This guitar, this is the 400. There's a 300 which has got a scratch plate, but I think it's maybe Taiwanese. It's a much cheaper guitar. This one is the set neck one. Yeah. The one above it, the 600, has a through neck, which looks really great here. The thing I don't like about that is it's got the scoop there, and you see, because it's got like a fancy veneer, it cuts through it. Like you see on you get them on when you see like if someone's tried to natural a plywood guitar, which I don't like. But that the 600 has coil taps, and that one doesn't. And took the pickups out thinking I know the 600 and it did have the extra tap piece. That was why I was a bit gutted when I got my Blazer, because I thought do exactly the same thing, and it didn't work because they're different pickups. Even though they're the same.
It's a beautifully made guitar.
It's lovely, isn't it? It's a Europe only one as well.
Yeah.
They only made it for a year.
Remember this? It's 3-piece with a veneer on top.
Yeah.
It's a really thin veneer.
Yeah, it's a kind of fancy, I don't know.
Walnut or something like that. It's a lovely bit.
Yeah. It's a headstock. I just love the headstock. It's not the most practical headstock, but I just love the look of it.
Japanese guitars really do stand out, don't they?
I think
the
so.
way that they're made.
Yeah. That was the one that I had to buy after Peter Capaldi came out in one of the Doctor Who videos. We're in a Roman Gladiators arena. It wasn't playing this one, he was playing the SG5,
right, okay.
which is the one that's got much more plastic on it. I don't even think the shape's the same, but it's got the same headstock.
I think it's the same, roughly the same shape. I've always loved those guitars.
It's just kind of, it's just a strap really, isn't it? There.
Sort
it's just
of,
the top bit's different, I think.
Sort of. It's not as much.
Yeah.
I like it. I've always wanted one. They're so hard to come by.
You don't see many of them.
No.
This one was on eBay for ages.
Was it?
Yeah.
What was modded about it? What's been changed?
I put the coil tap switch in.
Oh, right, okay.
But the thing about, someone told me he's got one of these, they've got the 600 which has a coil tap switch and it only taps the outside two coils.
Right, okay.
Because you didn't get 9-pole switches back in 1984 or whatever, I can't remember whatever year this is. So mine taps all three pickups.
It's a lovely guitar though.
But it's the coil tap thing is absolutely glorious. So you think, oh no, you want high power ones, but see when you can put it onto the pure glassy underpowered, it's so ringing bell-like.
It's all of itself. It's like the whole Gretsch thing. I mean, the Gretsch guitars sound amazing when you play them on their own. It's just not until you try and play something on the back of it through the same kit and then no. Yeah. But that's got really powerful pickups though.
Yes, I kind of think they're almost P90s.
Yeah.
Sort of thing. I mean.
So where does it go next?
We're working through. We've got a guest. We've got a special guest.
Next one is John.
Oh, John, our special guest.
Pick a guitar.
Yeah, let's. I'll tell you. I'll put some of these away.
Yeah, we've got a lot out, haven't we?
Yeah. Ditch that one.
In fact,
No,
this one.
No, you play that one because that one kind of goes with John.
Okay.
That one. Ah. Should be doing this while we're actually talking. Listen to him. Yay. So, how quickly am I going to be able to find John? Is a question. Not that. Not too bad. Right. So, here's our guest. Our guest speaker. This is John. I'll tell you. I was at the Wolstonbury Festival. Sounds an awful lot more grand than it was. The party I was playing at, I played in 2 bands at the weekend there, and went out to the barbecue bit to talk to steaming folk. And
as you do.
John and Ivor, who's the bass player in the Led Zeppelin band, John plays the guitar in the Led Zeppelin band, and a guy called Tim. We're talking away, so I was just kind of smoking a fag, kind of joined in, and out of the blue, Tom was like, "Have you ever heard of Ibanez Blazer guitars?" I was like, "That's pretty bizarre talking," and I was like, "Yeah, it's bizarre. I've got one." And chatting away, and then it's like, I'm doing a video with Pal Scott, and I was like, I wouldn't mind borrowing yours because I knew he had one, John had one, and then Ivor standing next to me as well. So the 3 people that this Tim guy talked to asked about Ibanez Blazers, we all had one, or Roadsters. So
I'm totally distracted by this guitar.
Hi Malcolm. Hi Scott.
Hey.
Hi YouTube. Malcolm's asked me to demonstrate my Ibanez Roadster. This one. It's an RS525 model. Contour top.
Nice.
24 frets.
Glorious frets.
Dual humbuckers. Locking vibrato. Which was pretty much a copy of Floyd Rose back in the mid-80s. But Ibanez were wary of getting litigation from Floyd Rose, so designed this to operate the same way as a Floyd Rose, but physically to be different. And yeah, it's different, it works pretty much the same way, but it was never as good as a Floyd Rose. it doesn't keep tuning as well as a Floyd Rose. Part of that is because the top lock here is not at the nut, so there is potential for the strings to slip and stick at the nut. Also, the components on the bridge are not as accurately machined as a Floyd Rose, so there is a little bit of play in it, which allows it to go out of tune when you depress the bar. It's slightly out.
It's like,
And
it's slightly
when the
out.
components wear, as they do, it gets worse. Sadly, Floyd Rose did sue Ibanez over the design of the bridge,
Everybody sued
and Ibanez had to discontinue this and replace it with a licensed Floyd Rose bridge. That means
This one.
this bridge is no longer made. There are no replacements, and if you can find an old one, it's probably just as worn as this one is, so it's pointless
It's a
replacing
shame,
it.
isn't it?
So I'm stuck with this unstable bridge. However, the guitar itself is a beauty.
It really is. I've actually seen it in the
You can
flesh.
see.
Have you?
Very nice guitar.
Metallic flake paint.
You told me there was only 6 in the
As
country.
the light hits it, it gives off different hues from cerise to dark red, and it's gorgeous.
Painted neck, colour.
Serial
painted
number.
neck as well.
J850533. That is guitar number 533, made in October of 1985.
86.
This model was only ever made in 1985. I bought it new in 86, and it's been with me ever since, apart from having been stolen in 87 from me, not by me. And I managed to recover it purely by chance in 2008 because I saw it on an eBay advert, still in my hometown. I just had to have it back. The pickups are not original.
Imagine losing that was only
Pickups here are Mighty Mite
Gutted.
Motherbuckers, which are fairly high output humbuckers. I replaced the original pickups, which were Ibanez IBZ,
Which of these?
and I sold them rather stupidly. I'd like to get this guitar back to being as near original as possible, so if anybody has some old 80s Ibanez IBZ pickups, please get in touch, either directly or through Malcolm. We could do something. The controls. 3-way toggle switch. Bridge, both pickups, neck pickup.
Most of this applies to that very
Les Paul
guitar.
3-way toggle. 2 volumes. These are push switches, not push pull, push push. Push, it clicks. Push again, it clicks again. And that
Something surreal about this.
works as a coil tap on each of the 2 pickups.
No, it doesn't. It works as a coil split. We were talking about the taps a second ago.
Bridge pickup, neck pickup. So you can blend different sounds.
You just said that the other way
blend
around.
single
from the
coil
Ibanez.
with a
It's almost
humbucker,
the same. It's slightly a different
or single
position.
coil.
Yeah, but did he not just say
there,
bridge
or both
pickup,
single
neck
coils,
pickup?
or both humbuckers,
That's not. That's neck pickup, bridge pickup.
Right, okay.
and shared tone.
This one.
Mind you, it doesn't. The guitar doesn't work just now. He said so.
Nice pots.
The tremolo bar,
Yeah.
simply pull out,
It's the same as this one, but I'll not do that.
just like a jack plug.
Okay, steal
That's
it.
actually the same size as a 6mm jack plug. Slots back in there, nice and simply. That's about it.
It's lovely.
I could plug it in,
Yeah.
but all you hear is a load of crackling because the electrics need a bit of work to them.
I wonder if it's got a
Which I
stupid
haven't got
output
around
jack
to
that one's
yet.
got.
Maybe in a few weeks. And then maybe I can load it to Malcolm and he can demo it on his channel.
And Scott could maybe just happen to be coming over that day for a wee shot of it as well.
Well, do you know what? I remember I done a gig in a place called Fanny the Gaslights in Kilmarnock with
Sounds
John
and
and
plays
his band.
phenomenally well.
and they had that guitar.
But
and it
because
sounded great
I
live.
can't rely on the tuning anymore, I don't gig it anymore. It pretty much stays home. Which is just as well because I don't want to risk damaging it at gigs, because I bloody love it.
Yes.
That's
No
it.
wonder.
Right, so,
Back to you, Mark.
well done, John. Didn't you do
Hi,
well,
Marco.
but I'll not
Nice
make you watch
go.
it again. No, very good. Yeah, so
Yeah.
his is an RS.
Right. Roadster.
Actually, you know I did that
Roadster,
thing earlier on when I went and disappeared through next door and came through with the... What do you think I'm going to do just now?
Yep.
Sorry, just...
Roadster. Roadster.
No. Remember I went through here and got another guitar?
Yes. You got another one?
Here's one in 1986.
Yeah.
I could just appear with...
Oh my god, Any more surprises?
No, sorry, that was it.
Oh, that's the guitar version, or the bass version of the guitar that I'm currently hunting at the moment and can't find. Almost found, and I took my eye off the ball with eBay and lost it, and it went for a really cheap price. Do you know what I mean?
Is that red one?
The red one. It's this basically the guitar version of that.
Yeah. So I went round and got to Ivor's last night. I got John and Ivor, the two guys I was talking to at the barbecue. And it wasn't I kind of borrow your Roadster. I went round and got the Roadster, and then I was come back round the first roundabout, going back up onto the Erskine Bridge. I thought, have a wee jam. What bass would I play? I've got an Ibanez bass, it's like a 5-string. I was like, if only I had a Roadster. In fact, does Ivor not have a Roadster bass? I just phoned him back, went back and got it. So can I borrow your bass as well? So this is a 1986, and look at the size of
Lovely.
that neck plate.
Yeah.
It's abnormally huge.
Do you know when I went to buy the one that I had, they had that one in Cormac's at the same time hanging up as the bass, and I remember looking at it thinking, oh my god, I wish I could buy both of them.
It's lovely.
It really
It's actually
is.
it's got this
Yeah.
precision to the ultimate Roadster 2 bass series.
Yes, very nice. But the one that John's playing there, cut to next year, it turns into this one.
Nearly. His is
Enough, yeah.
a 525, an RS 525. Mine's an RG 530.
Roadster guitar. It's
RG, yeah.
Yeah.
So this is the first ever RG model, or the first year of them. They all changed from. It still says Roadster on the headstock, but RG stands for Roadster guitar, and we'll get onto RGs
yeah.
after this. So this is kind of. There is an RS 530. The 530 means it's got like a binding on it basically. And these are the pickups. Oh, you shot that one. Hold this up to the.
Still looking at the flame one.
Yes. No, I'm going to hold this up. But these are the pickups that John's after for his.
Oh god, this is
You see, they say Ibanez in the bottom left hand corner.
IBZ.
Right. See, then this is a black pearl finish. It's your
Sorry.
pal Beans said, "Oh, it's the ugliest guitar I've ever seen." In a comment I put on the other day, I was like, "What? You blind man? Look at it! It's fucking amazing." Yeah. So. Apart from being that, the RG, this is when they've got the license, so it's got the Edge 1 tremolo on it, and they've now got the proper Floyd Rose type nut. Apparently that's the bit, I think that's the bit that's been, is the Floyd Rose patent is on the nut, that's why all the, what was it, a quick rocker, a fast rocker?
Something like that, but that was the Go-To made one, bridge.
Yes.
Made these bridges.
Yes, you've got this on your 69 Strat.
That's the Ibanez one though, I think that is it actually. I think that might be the Go-To
That would be
one you've
Go-To
got as well.
That would be Go-To as well.
Because later on they started to actually brand them with Ibanez.
Right.
So you've got one of the same tremolo as the one that's on my Strat. You just get the black version of it.
Yeah.
But looking at the way that it's
Oh, it's
set,
got those. You were talking before about you can replace the blades.
yeah.
It's got the replaceable blades. That's the first time I've ever noticed that.
Well, the way
So it
that
should never run out ever.
The way that guitar's been set up is it's actually been flatted.
Yeah.
So what I'd be inclined to do with that is shim that, and what you do is you lift that off, and it gives you a bit of back play.
Is it not meant to be flatted?
No,
No.
No.
I just assumed it was meant to be.
no. Well, some people like it like that.
Right.
Eddie Van Halen was a guy who did that. He liked
Yeah.
to flat it against the back of the body, and it was down play only.
I was just thinking of looking at at it. It looked like it should sit surface.
No,
flat
you
on
can
surface.
actually bring that up, and you can have just a
Just
bit
so-
of play in the back of it, just
Yeah.
enough to get roughly the same as you would get from a Strat.
Yeah.
Yeah, but that's when Ibanez became real serious players at the top end. Around about 85, 86, going into 87, then they had the pairing up with Stevie Vai.
Yeah.
But already the stable was healthy. I mean, they had Steve Lukather, they had Alan Holdsworth.
Yes.
and
In
they had-
fact, I've got.
Yeah.
Sorry, looking at John for quite a long time. I've got I took. Where's that photo thing? No. Where was it? Where were we? 1985, weren't we?
Yeah. That's the Pro Rocker. That's
Yeah,
that's the year of John's.
That's basically John's guitar, apart from.
And he was right about the fatal part of the way that they had the locking mechanism behind the nut caused problems. It just caused it to bind.
Yeah.
It actually worked perfectly if you used the tremolo like a Bigsby or a Strat Trem. It's not until you started doing kind of dives and stuff that it started causing you problems.
Yeah.
But I mean,
they are nice.
Really good guitars, really well made guitars. It was kind of made to compete with the kind of Kramer Beretta. If you remember that guitar. If you look at the Kramer Beretta and you look at that guitar, they're very similar.
So these are the ones that I was looking at. This is what they look like. Every year they're different. So this is the.
See, that's the year that I basically fell in love with Ibanez guitars. Kind of 84, 85.
See, there's that guitar. Yeah. Sorry, this guitar. Yep. There's that guitar. And the reason I looked this out. Here, we get another guitar down. Me Destroyer. So this is 85 as well, and it's got the bar pickups in it, and I think that middle pickup I put in myself, so I'd imagine it's probably one of the ones off the Roadster 2 series. Yeah. Oh, is it this? Is this when the standard and the deluxe? Oh, these are the deluxe ones. Oh, it gets confusing. Yeah, but the reason I wanted to bring this one out is also the headstock. So I think the first Ibanez to have this shape of headstock, I put the sticker on it, and that's no, they don't do a real python skin guitar. I think that Iceman, or what became the Iceman later, was their first ever original design.
Sort of, yeah.
Was that, but it was like 3 aside, and then round about this time they put it on this. And then, but the Roadster still look like that. Although that's the small head.
Yeah,
we were talking before.
They made the design.
The difference.
The headstocks after medieval Japanese weapons, which is quite interesting. If you look at the designs, you can find.
But this one here has the big headstock.
Fatter.
And then that one's got the same as your Blazer reissue headstock.
Yeah.
Yes. And it's like the ultimate design of craftsmanship.
But again, if you look at it, I mean that's not a lie. If you look at the way that these guitars are made. Yeah. I mean. People say bolt-on's not as good as an X-ray, but it's not. Yeah. No, so this is a really well-made guitar. I mean, look at the fretboard. Look at your frets; they're filthy.
I know. It's been sitting in there. They're so cloudy.
Yeah.
You know, someone offered to swap their car for that.
Yeah.
It was a Jaguar.
Yeah, that was me.
Yeah. No, I can't sell you. It was like, your Panda's just blown up. Yes, I'll swap it for my Jag. Yeah.
That's the one that got destroyed by a mechanic.
Yeah. Those frets are absolutely manky.
Yeah, but it's a lovely guitar. If you look at the way that the Ibanez guitars are constructed for the time, particularly with this kind of technology,
see,
nothing else.
Everyone's mentioned them so far, and the ones you get now, when you pop them in like a pen, on those ones you can't see whether they're on or off by looking at them. So you have to plug it in and go, as a single coil. No, it isn't. Which is annoying. There's also got one of those stupid barrel jacks which I still haven't replaced, but I keep having. I need to.
I've actually got an Ibanez one.
Oh yeah. I've just got a cheapy one. I just haven't bought
an Ibanez one. I'll do a bit of swapsy. Yes, but this is when they took the leap into being like serious contenders for being like the top end guitars. They're pitching themselves above Ibanez with these guitars because you went into guitar shops at the time and they cost more than Strats.
Right.
But there was a reason, because they're much better guitars. If you pick up a Strat from this era and you hold it side by side by one of these, it's
no. I mean, it's a super Strat, isn't it? That one.
Well, it's like comparing a Ford car with a BMW car, or the Japanese equivalent of something very high end.
Yeah.
The way they manufacture them, I mean, they're brilliant. Just look at this one. I mean,
it's the colour for that one.
It's not just the colour. It's the way
no, it's everything, but the colours are just.
But they make particularly good guitars. I'm a bit of a fanboy, has to be said.
Yeah. I should have looked up your picture. The picture you got when you had your pink one when you were, was it 18 or something like that? At a party. It's like that pure with it. He's got it was a pink one like that you had that had just a single humbucker.
It's on that picture. And it was in cherry ice.
Cherry ice.
It was right. Did you know it was right?
Right at the colours.
Right at the start.
See that those ones there. Oh, I thought they can't. I wonder if that. It will be the Arrow. That one there. I had a Hondo that looked like that. That's like a carved top, almost like a Western Prestige type thing. They're very nice. Well, the Hondo one's really good. The Hondo one has a Schaller bridge on it, and you can tell it's a Hondo if you've got one that doesn't have a trem, because I know that there is no known trem version Ibanez make, whereas Hondo made one which is a wrap over thing.
Yeah, but I think this was the first time this appeared.
Yes.
In Ibanez guitars as well, which solved the problem of John's guitar.
Yeah, the Pro Rocker it's
Pro
called.
Rocker.
Was what it was called, yeah.
Yeah, because I got this guitar when I first bought mine in 1986. 87 was it? Late 86, early 87. I bought one from McCormack's in Glasgow and I had to order it in. And they said they ordered it from the States, but they couldn't have really, could they? They been ordered from Japan.
Well, I don't know.
They said they ordered it and it took ages to come in, and then when they when they got it in, they put it out on the shop. But they never. They put it in a glass case as you walk into the shops. And it was there for about a good week before they even contacted me, because one of my mates said there's an amazing.
Oh no, they just wanted to we can get things like that. Oh.
I've ordered one of them, do you mean? But yeah, it came and it said the same.
How much did you pay? How much was it? Do you remember?
Yeah, $6.99.
Really? They were that sort of money?
Yeah.
Wow. I didn't.
Well, that was more expensive than the one that was on the floor, because I had to specially order it and stuff like that.
Yeah,
It came cherry ice with the Ibanez edge and all of that, so it basically blew everything in that range out of the water completely. I mean, you had your Kramers, you had your Jacksons, you had hot rodded Strats and stuff like that, but none of them came anywhere near close.
And this is just we're saying they don't have Vi yet, but they've got.
They actually did have Vi at this point. Vi was coming on board.
Yeah. Where was that one that had all the? Was it 1985? No, what's this one? 1985. Ah, there, that one. When you started.
Now there's my model. That's the one that I covet. This is my favourite guitarist ever, Alan Holdsworth, and his.
Do you want to buy a Yamaha Magic Stock? Because he used 6 of them.
One of the things was, when I was a kid, a bit of a weird kid into weird music, and I was really into Alan Holdsworth as a guitarist, and it turns out that he was playing Ibanez guitars, and at that point I'd kind of discovered Stevie Vai as well, and he was still with Frank Zappa at that point. Yeah. And he was also playing Ibanez guitars. It's like winner, chicken dinner.
There's your Steve. You're talking about the Steve Lukather one.
The Steve Lukather one, and it's a.
Well, you can't see Steve Lukather.
Well, there's a blue one that he brought out, and that's it there, and I can't see it in that screen.
No, I don't know. It's like
it's a
technical difficulties. How do I move that?
I don't know, man.
Nah, we can't do it. Steve Lukather's on the left there.
The Steve Lukather one was a blue burst, and it was a dark royal blue going into a. Oh, there it's there. It was beautiful guitar with all the gold appointments and stuff like that.
Yeah.
But it had the Pro Rocker tremolo on it, which kind of.
But that's like an RS 1500.
Yeah, because I remember going into.
We're still RS. We're still 1985. So there's basically mine and John's. There's the 5. There's the 525 and the 530. So basically his is rounded at the corners, but it's the same as the pre-runner to that.
When I tried to order this one, I was wanting to buy the Alan Holdsworth. I was trying to get that as well, but I was told it was unavailable. Unobtainium. Yeah, but I tried the Steve Lukather at the same time, and I really liked it. But again, the only thing that put me off was the tremolo system, because everybody in the world was complaining about the Pro Rocker at that point.
Yeah. I'm just wondering if I can find that one. I can't remember. It's before. It's got me before this. There's actually quite a lot though. There's an RS standard with lots of availabilities. There's a RS deluxe, and there's a whatever that is. Left hand note, whatever it is. The fair branched out, because when we look at the Blazer ones, there was like 4 of them or 5 of them, and now there's.
But now they were no longer doing budget copies. Do you know what I mean? Now they're a serious contender. In 1986, 1987, things start going through. Pro line.
There's the first time I think we see the
different shape headstock
and the tick on it. This one is a sticker on top of it, but originally when it had the tick, but it's an X series. I think it might actually say the ultimate decision of craft on it. The original one of these. I'm not really sure.
Craftsmanship.
Yeah.
But the quality of Ibanez guitars all the way through has always been amazing.
Yeah, so I got the last catalogue. There was now got a Roadster standard.
Now that's what.
That's a Roadster Deluxe then.
This is a Roadster Deluxe. This is
because there it is there.
There's the Roadster standard
with the red. That's wine something.
Yeah.
The black one.
And that's Stanley Jordan, isn't it? Is that his name?
I don't know.
Yeah, he's an amazing.
There's
the cherry ice.
Well, that's got the
single one, the single bucker. That's the one that I ordered. At that point, I was an Eddie Van Halen nut. and I
Right.
saw this guitar, and I didn't think anything about gender or all of any of that stuff. I just saw the colour and I thought, oh, that's amazing.
Well, it's messed up with that red one. It's like, I'll have two
It's
pickups.
lovely.
Do you want a neck pickup?
Oh, do you
No,
know-
I want a middle one and a bridge one.
That was one of the options when he was on the phone.
Yeah.
Apparently, was the double humbucker, and I said, I don't like the look of that. I
It
just want the
looks,
single bucker, yeah.
it looks weird, doesn't it?
But yeah, what an amazing guitar. How stupid I was to sell that. I actually sold it for another Ibanez. They brought out we'll come to that.
Yeah.
Something more like the other Ibanez, but I would kill to have that guitar back again. In fact, I bought one, and it was in San Francisco, and we got hooked up with CITES regulations, and I ended up not being able to complete the sale. And it was in perfect condition in San Francisco. It was
No.
like 800 quid I was paying for it, which. But yeah, I was willing to do it just to.
So if anyone's got one of them,
I'm not paying 800 quid.
it's
for
not
it.
paying 800 quid for it.
No,
But
no.
But
But
if
if you've got an Alan Holdsworth one,
if you got, well, they must be worth a bit. Just. We actually would. This is an amazing P bass. There was a Roadster bass on Facebook Marketplace a couple of weeks ago, and it was all pearl white with no scratch plate, and it was like it was off the attempts. It was about 300 quid.
Yeah.
I knew it was going to be good, but
See,
this one, I want this one.
they were the same price, if not dearer than Fender P basses. I mean, they pitch themselves at that level quite rightly.
It's,
They do. See, that's one of the problems with the brand. A lot of people still associate them for some weird reason with budget guitars when they're really not.
I suppose they just they've just got to sell more budget guitars because they probably. I'm sure if you go to not McCormick's anymore, guitarists, and they must sell. Maybe not guitar, but I mean mostly they must sell 10 £150 guitars for every £500 guitar or something like that.
More than that, yeah. But these guitars were always pitched around about and above Fender instruments, and that kind of ilk. And
Yeah.
I think for good reason.
This one would have had a.
Yeah.
This has got the sticker. Let's see what mine still says RG530 on it. A sticker. This one obviously used to say what it was on
What
it.
it was, and it's gone.
It's gone.
But
Fuck
yeah,
it
I
out,
remember
these.
seeing that.
Did you?
at the
But
time.
John didn't mention them, did he?
No.
It must have been the other video sent me. He's like up here. I had these cool. Basically, his video said he had these things, and they were solid.
Yeah,
the
the
screw had become part of it.
Yeah,
So I had to take them off, and I couldn't fix them. So I just put strap locks on it, and you're like, I'm pretty sure that I'm WD-40 Bath and some stuff. I'll get them if you've got them, John. Use them. I don't care if I'll draw a hole in them, but they are awesome.
Weirdly collectible
Yeah.
for a strap band. It's like 80 quid for a set of them. But that bass, bloody hell.
It's amazing.
I mean, it's
like,
had a life, but it's.
yeah.
See, I remember
I'll
seeing
play-
that
play
as a
through.
kid as well. McCormack's in Glasgow always had a decent selection of Ibanez guitars, which was brilliant because I was a huge fan. I was a huge fan of Kramer guitars as well. I remember when I was looking for that pink Ibanez, I was looking at a Kramer Beretta at the same time. Was the guitar, and it's almost
Right.
identical, but I remember getting a shot of the Beretta, and it was the quality of it wasn't very good. Like with the Ibanezes, when you move them about, they don't waver. Do you know what I mean? Solid
balance
guitars.
part? We got a balance.
Yeah. But with the Berettas, when you move around, the neck joint was kind of not as good as an Ibanez.
Right. Where did that be? Because I've got a Kramer Focus.
That was the cheap one.
No, it was after that. But see, the first run of Focuses, the Focus 3000, it's made by ESP, and then when they came back with the proper names like the Kramer logos that were made in Korea,
Right, okay.
well that would be 84 or 85 that happened, I think.
I don't know, the one that I had was made in America, that one that I was looking
Oh, right,
at. It wasn't
right.
very good. To be honest with you, it was the quality holding them next.
Right.
So I bought that and I stupidly sold it. Do you know, I remember I had this mental Northern Irish girlfriend. Right, complete head case of a girl. She was actually lovely but temperamental.
Yeah.
And she fell out with me one time. She grabbed that pink guitar while I was fast asleep one time and stuck it in the shower and poured a curry over it. Literally throwing a curry at it.
Oh dear.
It's terrible.
This one's had the neck sanded,
No,
unfortunately.
that one went on for a long time because every time I played it for months after that, it was like a mild boona smell.
Could have been worse.
No, but she face planted the guitar with a curry. It's terrible. Took ages and then gave it a shower.
So if you've got a pink Ibanez single pickup RS, whatever it is,
430, 440.
it can be
RS
could
410.
be
I
not
can't
high
remember
enough.
what it is.
Not high enough resolution to actually read it.
Yeah.
But yeah.
But if you see those guitars and it's going cheap, it will outpace basically anything. I think for that around about that time. Who were the main contenders back then? Strat brought out the heavy metal Strat HM. That came out in 1986, 1987.
Right,
Remember that one?
right.
And that was the Super Strat
That's
with
the
the
Baywatch one.
whammy bar, yeah, with the stupid colours.
Yeah.
And then you had Ibanez.
And it's did you not say the Strat instead of saying Fender Strat, and
yeah.
the same writing for some
Spray paint writing.
for the era. Basically
Yeah.
everything I used to have a wetsuit, and anything to do with boats was all bright pink with that sort of handwriting stuff on it, Mistral sailboards and all that. Well,
But who you had at the main at that time in competition were Fender, and then there was Kramer, Jackson, and who else would have been the Super Strat people? Original Super Strats. Everybody else was making copies of their guitars.
yeah, I suppose Aria would still have been about.
Were they making original guitars? Or
Huh?
Were they? I suppose,
Is it the RS series?
Yeah. Because you had a
And
lot
they-
of other companies about, like Marlin and various other companies
Yeah.
who made copies of
Yeah.
these guitars.
Yes.
But at this point, this is where Ibanez, as far as I'm concerned, started taking away, started pulling out ahead of all of the competition.
Yeah, and became.
Well, yeah, it became the best. I think they've got, if you look at the stable of guitarists they've got now in comparison to anyone else. If you look at who they've got Stevie Vai, they've got Paul Gilbert, they've got Joe Satriani, they've got blah 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 blah.
Yeah, yeah.
List as long as your arm.
Oh,
Of the
and
very
they've been there forever. So
best,
they
yeah.
went anywhere.
Yeah,
Just like what
Paul
you
Gilbert, we were watching him earlier.
It was, I think that was the last video. We've still got another video to go. Actually, I forgot about it.
He's as a brand loyal guy. I mean, everything that he plays with, all the old vintage stuff, guitars that he plays with are all Ibanez guitars.
Yep.
And they're amazing. Mind you, he does have work done to them, which, to be honest with you, I would love to do to this one, because it's got vintage frets.
Vintage frets.
So-
It's weird because none of the other ones do it.
No,
No, they're not. They're not tiny, but
they're not tiny.
They're not junior.
I mean, they're tall and all of that, but they're just really skinny, so they're not really great for bending like the big fat frets are, like these ones.
Yeah.
That's the thing about these guitars, they've got brilliant frets and brilliant necks on them.
Yeah. Maybe if I cleaned the frets, it would be a bit more brilliant.
Now this guitar's needing a good old setup.
If it had push pull pots instead of the push pushes that didn't have a wobbly jack, I would use it.
I love push.
I love it when you can see what it is it does, but you can't.
Oh, can
so-
you not?
no, it looks exactly the same.
That's what it does.
That's what's annoying about it. I don't mind modern ones.
Yeah.
The ones where it's like a pen, you pop it up and it stays up, and you go, oh look,
Yeah.
the knob's out, and that one it isn't. So you're forever not sure whether you're on single coil or humbucker.
Yeah, but when they brought this edge system out, again, it's a lot. If you look at other pedals from around about that era, even the original Floyd Roses, it's a stamped metal plate,
Yeah, yeah.
which is kind of bent into shape, whereas these were a big cast unit of solid
They're
chunkiness.
worth money now as well.
Yeah, they weigh quite a bit, and you can't see behind this, but it's got a stainless steel block.
Right, it will do.
Big stainless steel block on it.
Be a go-to job. Well, that's the one actually. In fact, where's that?
Hey, well, me and Scott got a little bit carried away. It worked well for the first half. I decided that every half hour we were going to stop and then start the second one. Kind of forgot to do it. Did it at the end of the first one. So this one had a proper start to it. So this one I've just kind of stopped at about halfway through what's left. And then I'll do another welcome to part 3 in a minute. So that's part 2. I want to point out that I didn't do any research for this. I don't think Scott did either. Since then I've watched a few Roadster videos and I'll possibly put them in the description down there. There's one with a Japanese guy who's worked for them for 40 years with Ibanez, and he's talking about all the design things and how they didn't steal the idea of the gem from Steve Vai, even though he kind of said they sort of did. But Steve was cool with it. It's quite funny actually. So definitely check that one out. I never even thought of looking up to see if anyone else had done a video like this before. I noticed there was a couple, haven't watched them yet. So I will catch you next week. I think I'm going to put this out Wednesday, and I'll probably put the last part out on Saturday. Catch you later.